I told my brother not to bring his boyfriend to my wedding. Okay, this is the worst. I'm losing sleep over this. I'm getting married in a week to an awesome woman, and I cannot wait to be her husband. We are so excited. My brother is gay, but my family doesn't know, only me and my parents know. I come from a very old school traditional family, so the old part of the family, grandparents and some aunts, uncles, still have last century's mind, and the younger portion, cousins/siblings, are open-minded and are living in the present. So my brother has been dating his boyfriend for 6 months now. The dude is great. I'm so happy my brother found a great guy. But it's kind of a secret, as he hasn't told my family he is gay. I've been telling him for years that he should come out, because I know it stresses him a lot, and I think it will make him feel better not to hide anymore. Plus, I bet a few family members already know anyway. But he disagrees, because he knows a part of the family won't accept it, and it will be a lot of drama. I see the opposite. I see it as the sooner you know who the idiots are, the sooner we can cut them from our lives. I have no interest in having someone in my life that doesn't accept my brother being gay. Anyway, that's his decision, not mine, so for now he won't say anything. Until a few weeks ago, when he said he wants to bring his boyfriend to my wedding. I was not expecting that, to be honest. So he went from 0 to 100 pretty fast. If it was any other occasion, I would be supportive, obviously. But I don't think my wedding day is the day to do that. Imagine all the drama and gossip and bullshit that would happen. And I don't want to get the attention away from my fiancée. That's her day. And I don't want to have to worry about that on my wedding day. And I think it's a pretty good reason. I asked him why my wedding day. He said it's because he wants to celebrate love with the two people he loves the most, me and his boyfriend. This is killing me. I would fight my whole family for my brother and never speak to them again if I had to. But my wedding day is supposed to be a celebration, not a family fight, and I can't do this to my wife. That might ruin our future. I didn't even tell her. She is already stressed out. Don't want to make it even worse. With a heavy heart, I asked him to please come alone to the wedding, and that I hope he understands me. He started crying and left my house without saying anything. Next day, I got a text and he said, "Don't worry, going alone." I tried calling him, but he didn't answer me, and my parents don't seem to know what's happening because they didn't say anything. He eventually called me back a few days later. We spoke. He said he understands my side, but things are still weird between us. This is the worst situation of my life. Am I the a-hole for handling it the way I did? PS1. I want to thank the Redditor that sent me a private message and said they hope a mass shooter shows up at my wedding. So thoughtful. PS2. Thanks for the golden stuff. Update. Spoke to fiancé. Couldn't keep this from her anymore. She agreed with me. Clarification. I know it won't be my brother that would cause trouble. The trouble would start with remarks and looks from some aunt-uncle. Doesn't matter. We are spending a lot of money on this wedding. Planned it for a long time. My fiancée put her heart and soul into planning this wedding. I don't want to see my bride or mom crying or some idiot uncle insulting my brother. Literally every other day of my life, I will support my brother's decision to come out. Even at the wedding, I would obviously defend him. But the point is, not at the wedding. Also, my brother is not the a-hole. Not at all. Response 1, NTA. God, I'm queer, and I gotta say, a sib's wedding would not be the place to trot out that bit of my life. It's your wedding, it's your day. Although I have to say, if your wife is level-headed, she wouldn't let a family fight ruin your relationship. Did you talk to her about this? Reply 1, agreed. Almost all wedding etiquette comes down to don't upstage the couple. It's too bad there isn't more time, because if he was actually able to come out beforehand, bringing his boyfriend to the wedding would have been fine. People will still talk, but it wouldn't stop the show. Reply 2, agreed. Almost all wedding etiquette comes down to don't upstage the couple. Yes, don't come out at a sibling's wedding. Don't wear a white wedding type dress if you aren't the bride. And for God's sake, don't do aerials on the dance floor. Reply 3, the aerial story was so cringy. I was like, oh, swing dancing, how fun. And then it turned into, oh no, that's not fun. Reply 4, But that girl was just having fun with her dance partner, according to her. She had no idea doing aerials on the dance floor would take any attention from the bride and groom. Plus, she was really sorry. Reply 5. And if he had come out sooner, then the wedding couple could have just not invited the homophobes. The brother and boyfriend could come without a hitch, and it probably would have been a better event for it. Response 2. IMO, this is a no a-holes here situation. You're clearly trying to prevent an extreme blowout at your wedding that can and likely would ruin it. Your brother is most likely trying to avoid some measure of the backlash he feels he will receive by coming out by doing so in a situation where it would not be socially acceptable for someone to flip their carp about it. Both of you have understandable reasoning here, but I think the one who is in the wrong is your brother on this one. He is acting to take advantage of your wedding while you're just trying to enjoy your wedding. I would tell him it's fine to bring his boyfriend, but only if he chooses to come out to the family at least a couple of weeks in advance of your wedding. If he is planning to come out at your wedding, that is not going to be okay. Reply 1. Your brother is most likely trying to avoid some measure of the backlash he feels he will receive by coming out, by doing so, in a situation where it would not be socially acceptable for someone to flip their carp about it. This makes the brother the AH in my opinion. It's understandable, but still selfish to be willing to ruin the wedding to make his own coming out easier. Reply 2. Well, I think the goal the brother has in mind is more along the lines of the wedding not being ruined, and also him not getting carp from the family for being gay. Reply 3. If he is planning to come out at your wedding, that is not going to be okay. Lesbian here, I fully agree. Reply 4. Sorry, but you're wrong. The brother is 100% the a-hole in this situation. I understand that coming out to his family is going to be an enormous issue for him, but he knows full well the likelihood that such a revelation will instantly lead to a huge fight. The brother does not have the right to make OP's wedding about himself, which is exactly what he will be doing if decides to come out at the wedding. Reply 5. If we were talking about this in past tense, I'd agree. It hasn't happened yet. If brother brings his boyfriend despite OP's request not to do so, then at that point I'd say he's the a-hole. At the moment, he's just scared, and fear doesn't automatically make someone an a-hole. Response 3. To clarify a few things, the issue is not that he's been only dating 6 months. The issue is him coming out at my wedding day, and there's no time to come out to the family before the wedding. It's happening next Saturday and family is scattered. They're only meeting on the wedding day. Reply 1. NTA, obviously. He doesn't have to come out on the only day of your life that's meant to be all about you. Reply 2. Your wedding, the day your wife has been dreaming of her whole life, is not the time for your closeted brother to come out. It will be the event of the wedding. Not your vows, not the walk, nor the cake, but rather it will be all the drama it causes. Your brother is an a-hole if he pushes this. Reply 3. Your brother is an a-hole if he pushes this. Emphasis on the last part. I think asking in private, being expectedly sad, and then communicating that he's respecting his brother's wishes doesn't currently make him an a-hole. Reply 4. Seriously, he might as well wear a white suit and make sure he gets every last drop of attention. Someone else's wedding is not your coming out party, and he should be ashamed of himself for trying to make it such. Reply 5. I think it's unfair to say the brother was so much trying to make it a party. He's been closeted for so long because it's a massive source of stress. If he was expecting some kind of announcement or OP to add something to the ceremony, then yeah, it would be incredibly entitled. But it's sad to me that his brother can't just show up with a +1 the other guests because it will be considered stealing the show. The vast majority of gay couples just want to live normal, peaceful lives like straight couples do without the possibility of igniting negative attention. But sadly, that doesn't seem possible with OP's family. I don't agree with the timing, but I understand how he would think might as well get it out of the way with everyone in one room would be ideal. Response 4. Okay, coming from a gay person, not the a-hole. A wedding isn't the place to come out to your deeply homophobic family. Maybe things won't go as badly for him and he'll be physically safer, but it's not right. Plus, I'd say the odds of a very dramatic fight happening is a solid 95%. And frankly, you don't want your wedding day to be tainted by those kind of memories. It's not fair to you or your fiancé. All you can do is keep supporting and loving your brother. Reply 1. As an audio-visual tech who runs weddings, I'd even say that there's a good argument to be made that this is a worse place to come out. At weddings, everyone is mildly to extremely drunk and very emotional. Also, everyone wants attention. Not a good recipe for compassion and love, in my opinion, despite the theme. Reply 2. But is there always a drunk uncle who wants to dance with bridesmaids? Or some other perpetual occurrence that you can see at every wedding? I'm curious. Reply 3. Wedding ask me anything, I guess. Most common is someone who's giving a speech using the wrong name for someone. Please, 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 people, run through the names you're using in your speeches with someone from both families at the rehearsal. I cannot stand the cringe anymore. As for drunk uncles, they're usually right in front of the sound booth, begging me to play the cha-cha slide. Reply 4. Even if there's 0% chance of a fight, I find the notion of using your brother's wedding as a megaphone for you to announce your sexuality to your family to be just despicable. OP's brother wants to make it all about himself on what is surely an extremely important day for OP's fiancée. Response 5. Honestly, not the a-hole. Your wedding should not be turned into his coming out party, nor should you be expected to have the possible drama fallout on that day. I asked him why my wedding day. He said it's because he wants to celebrate love with the two people he loves the most, me and his boyfriend. Sounds sweet on the surface, but he's making your wedding about him and what he wants. This is why I think he's an a-hole. He isn't thinking of how you will feel and what you will be putting up with on your wedding, only that he wants the two people he loves so that he can enjoy your wedding. I'm bi. This isn't bigotry speaking. This is me being so tired of people not actually thinking about how they're going to affect others. Your personal struggle with your sexuality is amazing and horrible and its own huge roller coaster, especially when you get to that late in life and still live in the closet. However, your decision to stay in the closet doesn't magically mean no one else is entitled to their special days. You do not have to let him take over your special day just because he's decided he's ready now. If you did let him take it over like that, you'd be a saint. But not letting him do it, given the context of how supportive you've been and the fact that this never seemed to be a matter of his safety, but just him not wanting things to be awkward, is the neutral stance. And friendly public service announcement to all closeted gay people reading this. If someone isn't willing to give up their day in the spotlight for you, that does not mean they don't support you. It just means that they want to enjoy their day. You'll have a special day too, but that moment in time is the other person's time to shine. It's not selfish for someone to not give that up just for you to come out, the same way we wouldn't think denying any other big announcement on someone else's wedding is selfish. Stay strong in your fight, but remember, it is your fight. Appreciate those who put in the extra effort to help you, but don't think of the world as out to get you if they don't help you. Reply 1. Of all the posts that got awards, I think yours deserves gold the most. So tired of people not actually thinking about how they're going to affect others. That's a bingo. Also, everything else you said. Reply 2. As much as I want the coming out to suddenly and surprisingly go super well for the brother, I truly would. Besides all the what could go wrongs, you raise a point about what could go right. It does seem to pull away from the wedding to have everyone fawn joy over him and makes the coming out the center focus as everyone witnesses his love and joy. I get the sense OP would consider even risking this if it meant his family could come to acceptance, but his inclination is that this fantasy is not their reality. Kind of seems I originally said cowardice, but I don't believe that it is the right word. Too strong, as it is a scary thing to come out to unaccepting family, move to use brother's wedding and future sister-in-law and family as a buffer. Perhaps they can all take part in an event at a later date to speak with family so brother can support and protect, but this is not that day. Response 6. Nay, Chach, but can I make a suggestion? If someone else hasn't already, would he be willing to lay the groundwork before the wedding and tell your family in advance? Then, as you say, you don't want anyone in your life who doesn't accept him as he is. Tell all your guests that anyone who has a problem or who will be unable to keep their mouth shut will be better served staying away. Edited for judgment. The only possible a-holes are those secondary to the story, and they don't count. Response 7. NTA. Your brother is essentially looking to come out at your wedding where he knows it will shock and surprise a lot of people. And if the family is really conservative, it may cause problems. Your wedding is not the time for him to do this. If you were homophobic and didn't want your wife's family to know, that would be a different story, but that's not the case, and your parents know and are supportive too. I think it would be best for him to stop hiding who he loves and be happy and celebrate with you and your family, or come alone. Best wishes on your wedding. Response 8. NTA. As everyone has said, he needs to come out prior to the wedding, not on your wedding day. Your wedding is for you and your fiancé. I get his wanting to try to come out in an easier way by just casually inviting his boyfriend to a family event. But a wedding isn't a good choice. Maybe a family barbecue or something, but not a good choice on his part. Response 9. I would say, not the a-hole. There are numerous posts about people attending weddings and using the occasion to propose or to announce their pregnancy. In doing so, the focus falls on them and not on the couple getting married. They steal the thunder from the bride and groom. This falls into the same category. A wedding is not the place to announce a pregnancy, propose, or come out. Your brother should find his own method of coming out to the family as a whole and not use your wedding day to do so. Response 10. Invite the boyfriend to the family brunch the next day. Don't let it overshadow your day, which is what you have done. The next morning still allows that wedding good fam vibes thing, but the pictures are done. Reply 1. No, the brother is definitely the a-hole here. It's not his place to decide to do something at OP's wedding that he knows will cause a huge scene. Reply 2. He didn't decide to do something. He asked his brother in private and then accepted what his brother told him. Not the a-hole. Response 11. NTA. You've encouraged your brother to come out to your family and he didn't want to because of the drama, but he is willing to now knowingly cause all that drama on your wedding day? That makes him the AH, in my opinion. This could really hurt your future wife and cause a huge rift between her and your brother's future relationship. There is a time and a place for family discussions and a wedding, isn't it? I would definitely try to explain how you feel to your brother so this doesn't affect your relationship. I doubt he is thinking about it from your point of view. He likely just finally got up the courage and figured people may not react as badly if they're at your wedding, and is using you and your wife as a meat shield, even if unknowingly. If he won't talk to you, write him an email and explain how much you support him and his boyfriend, but how this one day is about your wife. Maybe he can tell the family before the wedding, and if there isn't too much drama with the answer, have him bring the boyfriend. Response 12. Damn, that's a lot of replies. I'm super busy right now, but I will read all of it soon. Just some info. In my country, there's no pre-wedding activities, just the wedding and that's it. There was no time to try to arrange some pre-wedding get-together, and my family is huge and all over the place. It was just not doable. And to be honest, I didn't think about it. There's so much going on. Reply 1. NTA, you were totally reasonable. 2 things since I haven't seen them before. He probably doesn't want a big get-together to come out at. I'd bet there's a lot of family he never wants to come out to. But he realized if his boyfriend and his family are both going to be in his life, then it will always be a carp show at every family event. Fair that you don't want it to start at your wedding, but he probably wasn't thinking of the drama it caused on your day, because he might be thinking of the drama it will cause every day. Any chance your fiancé will be upset that she wasn't in the loop? Seems like you might want to fill her in and let her know you took care of it. Sounds like she'll probably be grateful, and if she disagrees, then you can reassess. Response 13. I'm going to go against my own queer knee-jerk instincts and give you a soft tuft, not the a-hole, edit, as opposed to no a-holes here, because it was a tiny bit of a dick move on your brother's part. My dad did something similar with my cousin's wedding. He's not gay, but he basically left my mom and got with the woman I think of as my stepmother very abruptly and in a way that caused a lot of drama. Then, he wanted the first time the extended family met her to be my cousin's wedding. She, like you, declined, and I think you're both right to. It's not the place or time for that. Maybe the four of you can go out at another time to privately celebrate together? Also, I'm glad he didn't up his game and refused to go to the wedding at all, which is what my dad did. It's great that he understands, and hopefully being together on the day will smooth things over more when he sees your happiness. Again, if you can find a way to celebrate with them, I think that will really go a long way too. Reply 1. Tiny bit? This is a huge dick move by the brother. A wedding is about two people. It is their day, not his. Wanting to bring his boyfriend and therefore coming out at a wedding will put him at the center of attention and will take away from the bride and groom. This is not the place to come out, period. He should know that. AITA, in my opinion, your points are justified. Your wedding day is not the day he should choose to come out to the family. Response 50A. I thought going into this you were, but I understand completely that it would kick off drama and ruin the day. It's not fair on you or your partner. Response 6TA. Fellow gay here. Outing yourself to your potentially intolerant family on a day that should be about your sibling is kind of a dick move. I don't think your brother is trying to be a dick. It seems like he has good intentions. But if he were to do that on your special day, it would very quickly become about him and not you, and has the potential to crash the wedding. I would be honest with him about this. It's going to hurt him, yes, but it's for the best for everyone involved. He needs to reserve his moment for a time where he is the focus and in a more private setting. Response 17. What I am unclear on is the boyfriend coming as a normal guest and just as a friend of the brother? Or does the brother intend to make an announcement at the wedding? Why can't the groom just say, you can have any +1 you want, and he bring the boyfriend? Straight women do this all the time? Reply 1. There's no way around it. This is a difficult situation. You say, don't bring the boyfriend, and that sucks. You say, yes, bring the boyfriend, but pretend you're not dating. And that sucks too. And if you say, yes, bring the boyfriend, and acknowledge that you're dating, which is nice to the brother and boyfriend, but shifts the suckiness to the bride instead. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Aw man, you're trapped between a rock and a hard place there. You're not the a-hole, even if it feels like it. Hugs. And I hope you have a beautiful wedding day. Response 19, NTA. He needs to come out before or after, but not at your wedding. It just screams of jealousy and wanting the attention on him. Reply 1. I'm not sure that it's an issue of jealousy and wanting the attention on himself, though you could be right. I think it's more of an issue that the brother wants to use the wedding as a way to curtail the negative reaction he knows he will get when he comes out. And while I certainly do sympathize with the brother having to make a decision like that, the bottom line is that doing that would make his brother's wedding about himself, and he doesn't have the right to do that. I've seen of similar threads before, and I was all set to rip into you, but then I read the rest of it. Absolutely not the a-hole. Your wedding is not your brother's coming out party.